Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuhu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. In the Vedic literature, the chanting of the holy name is glorified in various ways. One of the ways it's glorified is how, like a fire has multiple characteristics. For example, the fire can burn down, the dry bubble trees in the forest, dry grasses, an unwanted field. If somebody wants to burn down, the fire finishes everything off. Later on, they can again put a new yield. In the same manner, the fire also is helpful in cooking sabji or rice or dal and other items and make it fit enough to be offered to the Lord after that. So, and the fire lights up the dark room and dissipates the darkness. And also the fire is very helpful in you have a campfire. What do you call it? Bonfire. Bonfire they call it, I think, isn't it? And it gives warmth to the body. In the same manner, the chanting of the holy name, it destroys shoka, moha, bhaya, apaha. By hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, shoka, moha, bhaya are destroyed, it is said. In the same manner, the chanting of the holy name also destroys all this lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, all this unwanted bubble tree type of things. Bubble trees are thorny bushes. Actually, thorny bushes have thorns and they hurt us. They are very dangerous. Similarly, these bad qualities, they spoil our peaceful living. But the holy name has the power to destroy them completely. And just as the holy, I was telling you about the fire is helpful in cooking food items. Similarly, the chanting of the holy name, it first starts with the tongue as we recite, and it enters into the mind. Then it goes to the core, which is the consciousness. And then it really makes the soul experience Ashtasatvika Vikar. So this is explained in the 4 stages of sound. If you see Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti Para, there are 4 stages. So let me give an example, it will be more easy for us to appreciate this. Vaikari is a sound, gross sound. Say for example, once I saw in Vrindavan Yatra, 2 very thick brahmachari friends. So they were supposed to board a train in Mathura junction. It was very, very crowded train. So the the devotee was waiting for his friend, and the friend was coming in the crowd from a distance, and he shouted him, "Hey Prabhuji, come here! Train is about to leave in 10 minutes. He said. And the devotee came running. And then then he asked, "Where were you?" he asked. Then when he came closer, then he was addressing the devotee. See, all the devotees have boarded the train. You are the last one they are waiting for. 10 minutes train is about to leave, Prabhu. Where were you gone? He said. Then that devotee took out one box of son babdi. And he said, "Prabhu, I just thought I'll go and bring the son babdi. You can give it to all the devotees because today happens to be your happy birthday." Like that he said, "Oh, really, God?" Yeah. And then he said, "Prabhu, keep this with you. I have to get my luggage, which is just 2 minutes away from the station." Like that, after giving Swam Prabhupada, this devotee said, but the other devotee said, don't worry, your luggage is already in the train. I have brought it. Oh, you brought it. Thank you, Prabhu. And then this devotee from a Jolna bag took out one garland of Srimati Radharani from the Krishna Balaram temple. And then he said, Prabhuji, because it's your birthday today, I thought I will bring this prasad and this garland also. And he put the garland. So immediately the devotee was touched that this fellow remembered and got a special mercy for me. And we both were embracing. This devotee who having a birthday was in tears. So I immediately could relate this to these 4 stages. Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para. Vaikari, for example, in a crowded place, you want to draw the attention of somebody. So he loudly called him. Hey Prabhu, so-and-so Prabhu is calling. That is Vaikari. Madhyama means after the person comes close to you, now you both are talking, others cannot understand what you are talking because you are almost whispering. Prabhuji, we are waiting for you, the train is going to leave in 10 minutes. What is this? You are worrying that we are going to miss you. So you are only talking now. Now you don't make loud noise. You are whispering almost. And after that, when this person gives a Swam Prabhupada to you, immediately a very pleasant feeling arises. Oh, somebody remembered my birthday and is giving me Swam Prabhupada. Thank you so much. At the same time, the other fellow, while giving Swam Prabhupada, he remembered that the train is going to leave in 10 minutes. Now my luggage is in the lodge. But then this devotee who was calling him loudly, he had already brought the luggage without even telling his friend. That goes to show how intimate they were. Correct, no? Yeah. Hey, you don't have to go to your lodge to bring luggage. Your luggage is here already. I have already brought it. He said. So this fellow is going to get Swam Prabhupada for him. And this fellow is putting his luggage in the train. They both always keep thinking of one another. Correct, no? So that pleasant feeling arises in the mind. And finally, when he gave a garland of Srimati Radharani, that touched his heart so much. Now there is no more talk amongst them. No more speech, no more whispering. They are embracing, and then that feeling deeply engulfs the entire soul. The same thing happens when we chant the holy name. Initially we loudly chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, because we want to get rid of all gossip. We don't want to hear any other material sounds. We want to drive out all the unwanted sounds around us. So we chant loudly. That is Vaikari. Then from Vaikari you go to Madhyama. As your chanting picks up, as you go a little deeper and deeper in chanting, then you can reduce your volume. You don't have to loudly chant, because what is Madhyama? Madhyama is mental chatter. Vaikari is speaking with the lips loudly. Now Madhyama is actually in the mind. Mind is speaking many things. Correct, no? The mind is saying that I am going to do this today, I am going to do that tomorrow. Last week I did this, I could have, instead of that I would have done. How many of you experience when you lie down in the night, there is a lot of talks going on inside the mind, inside dialogues, correct? No? So those inside dialogues are the Madhyama. So when after you have chanted for some time, when you soften the chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So your internal mental chatter is replaced by chanting the sound vibration of the holy name. You are able to chant the holy name and remember. And you have to keep in bay, or another word in English we can use, you can oust the mental chatter. And by inserting the holy name into the mind. That is actually the stage of Madhyama. Then when you go to the stage of Pashyanti, that's the stage of feeling. Now when one is calling the holy name, gradually the qualities of the Lord arise in the mind, the prayerful thoughts arise in the mind. Oh my dear Krishna, you are my real friend, you are the eternal master, you are my maintainer, you are my protector, you are the be all and end all. If everything else will go away from me, you will be the only one who will be with me. These kind of feelings arise in the mind. That's the third stage, Pashyanti. And when it comes to the Para, it is beyond the words, beyond forms, beyond everything. It is a deep feeling of love. Like Yashoda feels for Krishna. She doesn't have to speak much. Simply when she sees Krishna returning back in the evening, like that picture there, Yashoda and Nanda, they both are welcoming Krishna back. So there are gopis standing with these things. The gopis are standing with the arati plates to welcome Krishna. So at that time Yashoda doesn't have to speak anything to him because she is extremely feeling a great pure thought of love for him. So that is the stage of para. Para is at the level of consciousness. So para, to put it in more simple words, like for example, sometimes a thought arises in your mind. Like this person, how he brought the Son Babdi, because when he was coming to the train, suddenly he remembered that my friend has a birthday. Initially the thought arose in the mind. So that is the para level, means at the consciousness. At that time it has not taken any shape till now. It is at the consciousness level. So the para level. And then at the Pashyanti level, it turns into a seed idea. Seed idea that, because it is birthday of my friend, I should give something that will please him. At the same time, there are many other devotees. So what would be the best thing to give him? Instead of just giving him one sweet, I can take one box so that he can also take and he can give it to other devotees. So now it is a little more, it has taken shape in the mind. Then when it comes to the Madhyama level, it is like the blueprint is made clear. So the thought becomes a seed idea, the seed becomes a blueprint, Madhyama level. And then when it comes to the Vaikari level, the blueprint is given shape in the form of going to the place, getting the hungry box and coming and giving him. The plan is now executed now. That is how it comes. So we can go from subtlest to the grass or grass to subtle. So the chanting of the holy name is not an ordinary thing. When we chant the holy name, when you go from the Vaikari to the Madhyama stage, that itself is a kind of progress. When you go from, because you are not just verbally chanting. Those people in the beginning stages, those who chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. So when they are chanting little, they'll keep watching, when is the mala going to end? It's going on and on. Even one mala would be very tedious to do when we are only externally chanting. Because when hands are engaged in chanting and lips are uttering the sound, but heart is not engaged, then one doesn't find the chanting very delightful. Rather, it becomes like a very burdensome thing. It's like a big burden. When will I complete the rounds? And sometimes we have experienced, we have seen some devotees. Sometimes you are chanting in the ashram, some devotees. After finishing the round, they keep the video, they just lie down. Because they are knocked down due to tiredness. And the tiredness, why it comes? Because of manashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. So they are actually fighting with the mind, somehow or other trying to utter the holy name, but mind is putting so many other proposals. Today I have to do this, today I have to do that, this is pending, you are not taking action on this action. So many, that is why there is an internal war going on. And that war outside, the holy name they are trying to insert into the mind, but it is not allowed entry, the door is closed. The door is saying, don't come inside. So somehow or other, if the door can be opened, the holy name can be allowed in, and then the holy name can drive out the unwanted fellows out, correct now? So that is the struggle due to which people who remain on the external uttering, the lips are uttering, it becomes like a jaw exercise. It is not going in. But once a person goes from, Vaikari to Madhyama, then he has at least been able to successfully insert the holy name into the mind. And even at early stages I have seen devotees who are able to chant softly, murmur the holy name, and they start getting some taste in that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. It goes like a very, very melodious music, similar type of rhythm. After some time, your mind is able to, hold the holy name for some time. At that time, purification can happen. To some degree, purification can happen. And because of that, one can hold on to the holy name. So there are three stages: dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana means to hold. The word dharan karna, correct? No? Hold. Dhyana means focus. And samadhi means absorption. Now, for example, I have a lens with me. Now, if I am moving the lens like this, I am shaking it. Can the lens do the job of burning? It cannot do, because I am just shaking it. When you shake the focal point, nobody can attain it. So dharana means first you have to hold it firmly without shaking it. Then dhyana means after holding it, you find out where is the focal point. Move it up and down, and then now you found out the focal point, that is dhyana. And samadhi means because you are holding it constantly, then it burns a paper or cotton because of intensity. That intensity is samadhi. Correct now? So, these three levels of increasing absorption, beginning with dharana, then dhyana, then samadhi. So, how does it happen? It happens in the same manner, Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti. As we go, because the Vaikari, you are uttering the holy name externally. In the Madhyama, you are able to murmur the holy name with the lips softly. At the same time, you are hearing the holy name. And what is the proof that the holy name is taking effect? How much proportion of a chanting I am able to murmur and hear, and how much proportion of the chanting some other thought defeated me. We can see. So, to the degree the amount of holy name occupied my mind, say 60%, that means 40% other thoughts conquered me. Correct, no? There is a kind of, what do you call it, like a tug of war going on in the Madhyama stage. And then when one goes to the Pashyanti stage, then one is able to hold the holy name continuously for many mantras. Therefore, according to the Yoga Shastras, 12 seconds if you can hold the holy name, it is called a dharana. 12 into 12, 144 seconds, it is dhyana. And 12 into 12 into 12, it comes to something like 25 minutes, 28 seconds. Close to like 25 and a half minutes. If you can hold, that is called samadhi, it is said. So, if one can, then the samadhi stage, the purification is extremely rapid, very fast. But even in the dhyana stage also, once purification starts, because an amabhas, we say, an amabhas chanting, actually the qualification is niraparadhanam, nishkapatnam, nisahayanam. Nisahaya is helplessly chanting, feeling Krishna is the only shelter. And niraparadhanam means free from 10 offenses. Nishkapat means free from duplicity. No duplicity, no double standard. Not that I am chanting holy name but I am thinking something else. No. We bring the mind, bring the body, bring everything. Krishna becomes the whole thought for us. Tada sadbhava bhavitaha, he says, like sarva bhavena bharata, he says. Yomam eva sammudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavit vajatimam sarva bhavena bharata, he says. Like Duryodhana had come to meet Krishna, Arjuna had come to meet Krishna, but Duryodhana was seeing Krishna, but his intention was different. His intention was to exploit Krishna. Whereas Arjuna came and sat at the lotus feet of Krishna, his intention was to get Krishna and be with Krishna and increase his sambandha with Krishna. Correct, no? So, if our chanting of the holy name is to increase our sambandha with the Lord, then it is free from duplicity. If our intention in chanting the holy name is to get something material, or to somehow or other finish the round and get rid of the holy name so that I can do what I want to do, if that kind of intention, then we cannot go to Namabha stage. It takes long time. So, from Vaikari is external utterance. Madhyama is utterance in the mind. And Pashyanti is, one is able to see. The word Pashyanti means to see. So, one has a very clear blueprint that Krishna is the master, I am a servant, I am calling his name. Now, in the same manner, you can think of Krishna Sudama meeting. Now, Sudama was at the door. He told the Dwarapalakas that, I am Krishna's old Gurukul mate, friend. Can you please go and tell him? They asked him, what do you want? You seem to be very poor. Look at your clothes which are tattered and your skinny body. What do you want? You want some wealth? Because even the watchmen in Dwarka were so rich, if they get a handful of diamonds and give him, he can take it and go. Whole life he can manage the life. But Sudama said, no, I don't want anything. I have just come to see Krishna. Here comes the main point. His goal of going to Dwaraka was to connect with Krishna, not to get something from Krishna. So with that goal he went. So we should begin the chanting only with the desire that let me become a devotee of Krishna. Let me become a servant of Guru. let me assist this movement of Srila Prabhupada. He took so much trouble. So, I will do whatever best I can. I am not a great soul, but I can try my best in a little way, in a squirrel way. Like that, if somebody thinks that script is a very good script, and to begin chanting, So those are the devotees who become very powerful in the long run, because they came with the right script, like the Sudama came to Dwaraka with the right script. After that, the Dwarpalakas went and informed Krishna that somebody has come like this. He doesn't want any wealth, he just wants to meet you. He says his old Gurukul Mate. What? My old Gurukul Mate has come, Sudama. Then Krishna came running. So, calling Sudama's name, Krishna comes running. And Sudama heard the loud sounds of Krishna's running feet. Isn't it? So the door opened and he saw Krishna coming running. The Sudama ran to him. And they both embraced. So, now they are calling each other's name and running and going and meeting with each other. After that, Krishna started softly speaking to everybody around, especially Rukmini. He was telling, Rukmini, do you know who this is? This is she said, my dear Lord, you are speaking about him every day. Every day you keep talking, who will not know who he is? Like that she was telling. And he went on telling so many things, the glories of Sudama and everything. And she said, my dear Lord, in the name of talking, you are talking for an hour, standing here, why don't we go inside the palace and sit comfortably and talk? She said. And then he says, oh Rukmini, I totally forgot that we are just standing here. Okay, Sudama, come, you must be tired, you have walked all the way. So now, then he took him inside the palace and then, he washed he said, you have walked a long distance, let me wash your feet. And then he gave him a big plate of prasad to eat. And sat next to him and personally fed him, and Rukmini was fanning him, all the while. And Sudama became overwhelmed by seeing this. Goddess of fortune is fanning me, and Krishna is washing my feet, and he couldn't speak a word, and neither could he say no. And he received the services with great hesitation. And then after that, Krishna put him to rest and massaged his feet personally. So when Sudama got up, then Krishna started speaking about the good old days of the Gurukula. When they both started talking about that, immediately they went to a flashback of how one day Guru Mata had told them to bring firewood. They both brought the firewood and they got lost in the forest, and Krishna called Sudama's name, Sudama called Krishna's name, and there was a heavy flood of water going on. Grihita hasta paribabri mathura, and that verse says, Vayam brisham tatra mahanilambuver nihanyamana murambu samplave disho avidanto parasparam vane grihita hasta paribabri mathuraha. This verse says that that flood of water, the dark night, we lost the way, we didn't know how to go back, but we were fortunately available for each other. We both met, and one hand we were carrying the firewood, other hand we were catching the hand, and then next day early morning Guru came and picked us up from the forest and took us back, and what Guru spoke to us. And when they were talking this, they completely forgot the present. They were completely overtaken by those thoughts of, how they dealt with Guru and how they dealt with each other. The thought made them oblivious to the external environment totally. So that is the stage of Para. Para is a transcendental stage where the pure love has awakened and there is not much required to speak. Simply a person in each other's presence, they felt so much satisfaction and so much joy, inexplicable experience. Beyond that cannot be described by words. So, posted back in their Gurukula days, they as if they felt they are still Gurukul children, staying in the ashram of Guru and studying together and everything. So, the same manner, 4 stages I told you. First, Vaikari, they are loudly calling to draw each other's attention. And Madhyama is stage when they are whispering and talking and smiling with each other. And then Madhyama. And Pashyanti is, when they sit together, when Krishna is serving, now he is not whispering also, he is feeling. Who? Sudama. Krishna is feeling something for Sudama, and Sudama is feeling something for Krishna, although they are not, like Sudama is feeling in the mind, he is not saying anything. He is saying that, my Lord, He served me with such amazing prasad, and such a fool as am I brought some chipped rice for him. My wife told me to give him. I think better I will not give him. This is Madhyama, correct, no? He is speaking in his own mind. He is thinking that if I give this, all court people will laugh at me. He is feeding me with such opulent prasad and I am going to give him chipped rice. Better I will not tell him about this. He is thinking. And how does Krishna not know who is thinking? He knows everything. He says, Sudama, your wife must have definitely given me something. She knows very well what I like very much. Did you bring something for me? Neither is asking. Sudama is immediately shocked. No, I didn't bring anything. I brought something, like that. He is like blabbering. And then without giving any more time for any further discussion, Krishna snatches it from his hip. Krishna takes it away. And when Krishna opened it, then took a morsel of it and put it in his mouth. He said, excellent, he said. What a wonderful offering, he said. At that time, Sudama was like shaken up by ecstasy. And he said, wow, my Lord, I brought some poor offering and he is excited about it. Anu api upahritam bhaktair premna bhuryeva me bhavet bhuryapi abhakto upahritam name toshaya kalpate. Oh Sudama, if my devotee offers even an insignificant offering to me but with great love, that becomes a big offering for me. On the other hand, if a non-devotee offers me even a chapan bhog, name toshaya kalpate, that does not satisfy me. Neither he said. So when Sudama heard this, he cannot explain in words how much joy he felt, seeing that at last this satisfied Krishna. I wasn't sure whether he will be happy or not. So Krishna took one morsel, he took second morsel, he went on eating. And Rukmini was standing by the side. She was shocked. My Lord is eating such low quality, chipped rice. And what will happen to his belly? She told her assistants. My Lord, if this goes into Lord's belly, it will hurt him in the belly, inside. And then she said, my dear Lord, if you eat everything, what will we get? Me and my maids are all eager to also taste what it is. And can you keep some for us? And Krishna gave it to her after that. So, in this way, these exchanges, they churn the soul. They bring the love out of the heart. At that time, neither was Sudama speaking, nor was Krishna speaking. They both got into the platform of it's beyond even emotion in the mind. It's the emotion of the soul. So that is a para platform. So the chanting of the holy name is supposed to take us to the para platform. Start with Vaikari, then go to Madhyama, then Pashyanti, then Para. One has to go to higher and higher stages. So, like Prabhupada was in Atlanta, the temple, that Gaurnita deities are there. Prabhupada installed them. And then Prabhupada sang that, Parama Karuna Bhavadvijana. He couldn't complete the song. He was like overtaken by the feeling of great emotion. And he was telling about how Gaurnita are most merciful and they have appeared in America here, to deliver the suffering souls and everything. And then he justly completely got broken down. So that's because already in that singing, he began with the Vaikari, then it goes to Madhyama, Pashyanti Para. As it goes to higher stages, once churning of the emotions become extremely deeper in that stage. So in our stage of practice of Krishna consciousness, occasionally we also have experience, like we used to go to Radha Gopinath temple, the Maharaj would be doing kirtan, Hare Krishna, you would sing, no? So when you dance, in the early days, I remember even we got tears in the eyes. Later on when I read the Nectar of Devotion, I found out that how the tears come even in a neophyte, because when a very advanced pure devotee is glorifying the Lord's holy name, his ecstasy comes out of his body like waves of a ocean and it attacks the people around. That is why even a newcomer can experience feeling. And even he can get tears in the eyes, because such a prema coming from the heart of the devotee exudes from his body and influences the people around. Momentarily they experience that bliss even themselves due to that dint of that association, like that. But later on you go back, you don't feel that emotion, correct? No? But pure devotees are those who feel these emotions on a regular basis. It's like waves. Therefore it is said, Gopi bhava rasamritabdi lahari kallola magnau muhu. It is said, Kallola means what? In there, Gopi Bhava, Gopi's Bhava is like this, what we are talking now. Gopi Bhava, Rasa, Amrita, Rasa, Abdi, Lahari. So when the waves of ecstasy arise in the heart of the devotee, like one wave is thinking of the Vatsalya of the Lord, and he is thinking of the Gopi's love for Krishna, he is thinking of the cow's love for Krishna, and he is thinking of the Vrindavan. These waves come and they, like that the ocean waves you have seen, sometimes they hit each other like that. That is called Kallola, it is said. So in this way, the devotee's heart is being churned repeatedly, several times, and devotee experiences that eruption of those emotions. So Haridas Thakur used to chant 3 lakh names every day. So 1 lakh you would chant aloud, like Vaikari was saying. And another 1 lakh you would chant like Madhyama. You would be silently chanting. Of course, there was another 1 lakh you were chanting in congregational chanting. So congregation chanting, loud chanting, and then Upamsu, then chanting in the mind. 3 levels of chanting he did, which means he went from the external to internal, more and more deeper. And then he chants Shuddhanam. He is fully situated on the spiritual platform, because Shuddhanam immediately brings Krishna. It attracts Krishna like Yashoda is calling. Krishna Krishna Aravindaksha Tataye he stanam piva halam vihare krukshanta krida shrantosi putraka. She is telling, when Krishna Balaram go to play, when she has gone to call them, she is calling Krishna Krishna, in great ecstasy she is calling. Aravindaksha, oh lotus-eyed one, oh Nainonkitare, like that she is calling. Tata, oh darling, she is calling. Eki stanam piba. Hey, my dear child, we are playing all day, when are you going to eat? Come and drink milk. And then she is saying, Krida Shrantosi, you must be very tired due to playing. And then saying, Alam Vihare Krukshanta, you must be tired due to hunger, and you must be tired due to playing. And children are neither hungry nor tired due to playing. They want to go on playing. And in this way she is calling lovingly. Prabhupada says it's very difficult for Krishna to resist when somebody calls very lovingly. So he told his friends, see, my mother is calling. Quickly I'll come, I'll go home, take some lunch, come back and join. The friends said, see Krishna, if you are going to go now, you can come back, but we won't admit you in the game. You have to sit by the side and just clap hands, that's all. Because right now you are about to lose and you want to go away. I think you want to go away because you are about to lose. Now Krishna said, no, I will stay back and prove to you that I am not going to lose. He stayed back. So she told many reasons. Then she looked at Balaram and said, this Krishna is not going to come. So she looked at Balaram and said, hey Rama Gacha, hey Balaram, you come at least. But don't come alone. She said, hey Rama Gacha Tatashu. She is calling him also as a darling. And then Kulanandana she is calling. She is calling, oh glory of the dynasty. She is saying, glory of our dynasty. Hey Rama Gacha Tatashu. Sanuja Kulanandana, don't come alone, catch the hand of your brother and bring him also. Because I am not able to get him, you get him, she is telling. But then Balaram is trying to convince Krishna, he is still not coming. Then she is telling, today is your birthday Krishna, many Brahmanas are waiting at home, you have to give cows in charity, please come. That was a lie, because it was not a birthday of Krishna, she was using it as an excuse to get him, like that. So then she finally told, Nanda Baba is waiting, if you guys don't come, he won't eat. Then Balaram really became serious. Nanda Baba will not eat if you don't go, so we have to go, Kana, just come. He was calling. And still, Krishna convinced Balaram that little more time we will play and then we will go. That time, Yashoda said, he made all the children stop playing, and she told about this Howbelow. She said, there is a dangerous animal in Vrindavan, looking like a lion and runs like a horse and everything. All children were amazed. Hey, have you ever seen it? I have not seen it. You have seen it. They were asking each other. And she said, you are all kids, you don't know anything. I am living in Vrindavan for so long. We elders know about it. Kids don't know. She said, you see, if Howbelow comes, the greatest delicacy for Howbelow is children like all of you. And she said, as soon as you see the creature, you all should run to home and stay in the custody of your mothers. Okay? She said. All of them agreed. So they continued playing, and Yashoda, after a short while, she loudly shouted, Howbelow, she shouted, with both her eyes dilated. And she took a about turn and ran towards Nanda Bhavan. All the children ran to their homes immediately. They didn't even turn behind. Nobody saw whether how Below came or not. They ran. And Krishna and Balaram came on either side of Yashoda, caught hold of the sari. So she caught one side Balaram, one side Krishna. Ittam Yashoda Tamashesha Shekharam Matva Sutam Sneha Nibadda Dhirnrupa Haste Grihitva Saharama Machyutam Nitva Svavatam Kritavatyathudayam. This verse says, Ittam Yashoda. In this way, Yashoda wanted to bathe Krishna, whose body was already like Neelamani, shining. There was no dust in his body. Simply Matva Sutam, thinking himself to be her own son, she wanted to bathe him. That was her nature. Matva Sutam Sneha Nibadda Dhir means her intelligence was imbued with constant remembrance of Krishna in love. It's called as TII, we call it. Opposite of IIT is TII, transcendently imbued intelligence. So her intelligence was transcendently imbued intelligence, with which she felt so much love for Krishna. And then Haste Grihitva, catching the hands of whom? Haste Grihitva Ramam Achyutam. One side Achyuta, one side Rama. She caught, and what she did? Nitva Svavatam. She ran home, dragging both the fellows to home. So who can drag a god, like that? Only somebody with so much love can drag, correct, no? So generally we say, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. She brought Godhead back home, isn't it? So she brought them back to home and then closed the doors, bathed Krishna and Balaram, decorated them and fed them. So in this way, we all are aspiring for that platform of pure love to become assistants of this eternal residents of, Vrindavan Dham. But we have to enter in this chanting from the Vaikari, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Para. Harinam Prabhu ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I spoke too long, I think. 8:15 I have another lecture. Today Bhaktavali. I have to go now. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Radheshyam Prabhu ji ki.
Sorry, I went into Bhagavatam class now. Sorry.